Welcome. You're watching The Big Question. I'm Tamanna Inamdar. How much did you pay for your last movie outing? If the answer made you wince, Karnataka government's recent move may cheer you up. Remember the good old days when watching a movie in the theatre did not require a separate budget plan? Well, the state of Karnataka is hoping to bring back those days. In the state's recent budget announcement, the Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has announced a cap of 200 rupees on movie ticket prices across all theatres, including multiplexes, ensuring that movie buffs don't have to burn a hole in their pocket while watching their favourite stars on the big screen. They say the decision is aimed at making cinema more affordable and preventing exorbitant pricing by multiplexes, especially during big ticket releases, and supporting the regional film industry.
More and more people can watch the movies, and it will be beneficial for theatre owners also.
If they cap the price of the tickets for the movies and all, it will be good. It will be helping a lot of Karnataka people, especially the middle class and lower class.
These people are charging 500, 1000 rupees per movie, especially in the first week. Those people who are crazy, those people are even cannot afford, they will go for movie with that amount.
But the question we're asking today is it really a good idea? While cinema goers may rejoice, who wants to pay more if you can pay less? Is this the right approach of any government? Should a government be stepping in to quell free market pricing? And should any industry be capped in its pricing like this, especially if it's a discretionary kind of a spend? After all, this is not a hospital visit, this is not something very basic. People choose to go to a movie. By the way, Karnataka isn't the first or the only state to regulate movie ticket prices, and in fact has taken a cue from its neighbors. Tamil Nadu has had a cap in place for years, keeping even multiplex ticket prices under 160 to 170 rupees. In Telangana, tickets for regular seats are capped at 295 rupees, while recliner seats are limited to 350 rupees. Likewise, in Andhra Pradesh, ticket prices are capped at 177 rupees and 295 rupees for the recliner ones. Now, this is in stark comparison to metros like Delhi and Mumbai, where ticket costs are significantly higher. Now, we took the example of the recently released movie Chhava, which is screening across theatres and has received much love. In Mumbai, a PVR ticket for this movie on Wednesday, that's a weekday, in the evening show post 7 p.m. is 460 rupees. In Delhi, the price is 320 rupees. Mind you, these prices are before taxes. Once you add all of that, the ticket prices could go as high as 500 rupees. If you book it on a platform, then probably more with a convenience charge. And this is weekday prices. On weekend prices, the base prices soar above 500 rupees. However, not everyone is thrilled about this. Multiplex owners are arguing that premium pricing helps maintain a quality cinema experience and adds to state revenues. So what do you make of this move? Will it be a hit or a flop show? Is it a dangerous trend if governments come and start capping off prices? Will other states follow? This is what we're talking about today, and to speak with me, I'm joined by Girish Vankire. He's a movie trade analyst. Amit Rai joins us. He's a director of OMG2. Raj Bansal, owner of the Multiplex Entertainment Paradise and film distributor for Yash Raj Movies, also with us on the show. And Rajani Sinha, chief economist at CareEdge Ratings, also joining in. I'm glad to have your perspective as well, Ms. Sinha, because at the end of the day, it is about free market that we need to see. I'm going to start with a view from Mr. Bansal, because first hit and directly hit when things like this happen. Mr. Bansal, do you think this is a good move or a bad move?
I personally feel this is a very foolish move from the government of Karnataka. You cannot cap ticket prices at your whims and fancies. It must be left with the trade, especially with the distributors and the multiplex owners. Depends on the film. Some films are very expensively made films, so they cannot be kept. They have to keep the prices with the box office results of those films. Weekend and weekdays tickets are different. Morning show tickets are different. So you cannot cap the ticket prices at all. I don't think this is a very good idea.
Okay, but this has been going on, follow up for you, Mr. Bansal. This has been going on in several states, right? We talked about Tamil Nadu, we talked about Telangana. There are other states which have also capped prices. And it's been working fine for them. Your movies are being seen everywhere.
You see, down south, there are very limited multiplexes. More of the cinema, there are single screens. And to give good entertainment to the fans of those actors, they kept the ticket prices. So after multiplexes which came into South cinemas, their ticket prices were flexible and government allowed certain films to increase their prices. So I think it should be left to the trade to decide what prices they should sell their tickets on.
Okay, let me get a view from Girish Vankade. Should it be left to the trade? I mean, the other side and the flip side of this argument is that, there are actually, I have seen myself movies in Mumbai theatres which have charged over 1,000 rupees a ticket, especially if it's a Hollywood movie and if it is on a weekend in a good hall. There has to be some transparency on how these prices are being fixed.
Oh, yeah, of course. Actually, this move is very strange because, as Mr. Bansal has said, it is with the prerogative of multiplex owners, the distributors, and they work on various flexi pricing. If you see, the morning prices are different, afternoon prices are different, evening prices are different, the weekend prices are different, weekdays are different. So it depends on what sort of film they are showing. Also, the amount of luxury which they are providing with the film. That is the second thing which multiplexes are giving or offering to the cinemas. And fourth is the profit margins. So if we are looking at only multiplexes, then this is not a right move for multiplexes. For the consumers, yes, of course, the less is the price, people will definitely be in large numbers to go for the shows. So the occupancy or the footfall may increase. Obviously, that can be the case. But in all, there won't be a balance between the ticket prices.
No. What is the take, Girish? Do you think it's a good idea or a bad idea? Of course, there's room for nuance, but okay, you think it's a bad idea?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a bad idea, say two on my panel. Mr. Amit Rai, as a director, obviously you want, so it's dual for you, right? You want more people to go and see.
It's very subjective.
No, and everyone, right now people are not going to the movie hall because they're saying, I'll wait for it to come on OTT. It costs too much.
Yeah.
The price differential is huge.
With the advent of OTT and the online platforms, everybody started complaining. Nobody's talking about the quality of cinema. Now, as far as South Indian cinemas are concerned, why they are earning? Why Malayalam cinema is flourishing? So it's very subjective. We can't blame anybody that why you are decreasing the price, why you are increasing the price. It depends on what kind of cinema you are making. Nobody makes a cinema as per the ticket prices. If Rajamouli has to make a film called Eega or Makdi, he will not raise the price of the tickets. Whereas if he says that I'm making RRR, I'm making Bahubali, the ticket price should be high. It is not based on that. Look, the audience. We make the film for audience. The large number of audience who comes to cinema, those who belong to the state of society, those who can afford the tickets. You have already, as far as Bombay, Delhi, and metro cities are concerned, we have already slashed down. We are with those people, those who were very eager to come to cinema hall. They are not coming to cinema halls.
You're saying you're losing audience. You're losing audience because of the prices.
Yeah, and then everybody started taking the decision. They have to make a certain amount. They are allocating certain budget for the entertainment. Earlier, it was not used to be that. People used to go to cinema when family used to go to cinema. Now, that is a different story altogether. But now, if somebody wants to go to cinema, suddenly the prices comes in front of them. कि कितना पैसा खर्चा होगा भाई? Do you know the price of popcorn and water and the coffee in the cinema hall?
We should ask Mr. Bansal. He knows very well. We all know the price. But Mr. Bansal, your response to this point, that the high prices have driven away people from the movie theatres. It's like killing the goose that lays the golden egg. आप कितना टिकट प्राइस बढ़ाएंगे? लोग आ ही नहीं रहे।
नहीं, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. We are businessmen and we know what kind of prices we should keep for a film, there are two different things. There's the expensive films made with big budgets, and there are low budget films. So for low budget films, the ticket rates are very moderate. For higher budget films, you have to keep the first week ticket prices very high. Otherwise, how do you recover your investments? So that's very important, and only trade and film investments would know how to bring back their money. And moreover, the OTT platforms have really taken away our audience from the theaters, and that is the reason, if you notice, in last 1 year, we have tried to offer tickets at a lower price, one ticket free with another ticket,
Yeah.
cinema lovers day, and all those things. So we understand how to get the audience in. Unfortunately, Hindi cinema hasn't offered very good films in the past 2 years, except for 23. If you look at 23's business, the business was huge. Unfortunately, 24, we couldn't match it. But you cannot cap the ticket prices by the government. No.
Okay, so one portion is about, so then let's come down to the core of the issue. It's a different point about what the quality of the movies are being made, on whether the business demands lowering of prices. The other point is government intervention. And let me come to you on this, Rajani Sinha, because at the end of the day, that's the question, isn't it? Should a government come in and cap prices on something like movie tickets? And what does that tell you about how that particular government or governments and on policy makers are supporting business?
So, Tamanna, sometimes government intervention or regulation is required, but I agree with the point that you are making, that this should be confined to more critical sectors like, say, healthcare, education. When it comes to an industry like entertainment, I think that should be left for the market to play out in terms of demand, supply, and what the pricing should be. Anyways, for the film industry, if it is facing competition from OTT, if the prices are very high, demand will go down. And then eventually we will see prices coming down. So I think it should be left for something like an entertainment industry, cinema industry. There is no need for government to intervene. It should be left for the market to decide in terms of demand, supply, and cost of production.
Yeah. So then the core question is on the plank of government intervention, and should there be government intervention in something like this? Then the answer is no. You want to intervene and cap prices on education. You want to intervene and cap prices on healthcare in some sectors, or basically give those services yourself. Then that's a different case. But for movie halls, no. But let me make the flip side of the argument and come to Amit Rai on this. If cinema owners like Mr. Bansal have to cap tickets at 200 rupees, can they maintain those facilities? Moviegoers also don't want to come and have broken seats, air conditioning that doesn't work, a sound system that is not really good either, right?
I'll come back to the same answer, that we'll have to go back. When this multiplexes chain they were emerging, and we were losing the single screen theater, and then the transition thing was happening, that all single screen theaters were modifying their whole infrastructure into the from single screen to multiplexes. Now the main core, what I feel personally, it's my personal view on it, that they redesigned the whole single screen into multiplexes. The problem is that they want to extract that money of the whole expense which they have spent on this modification. They want to extract that money from the films. Of course, they are going to raise the ticket. If it's a 5-star hotel, they are going to charge 8,000 rupees per room. If it's a 2-star hotel, they will charge. Now, what has happened that we should have a common, or we would have decided that what kind of multiplex chain we want to have in our state. Now, as far as South Indian industries are concerned, they are also having the single screen theater. They are also having the multiplex. They are making the films, the amount of films they make, and the amount of earning. You can just compare the income and the expenditure on films as vis-a-vis the Indian films which are made in Bombay, Delhi, or Calcutta, or wherever in North Zone. Now the problem is that जो हमने खर्चा किया है, अगर हम ये चाह रहे हैं कि हम ये फिल्मों से निकालेंगे पैसा और जीवन भर निकालते रहेंगे, तो ऐसा नहीं होगा. आपको ये देखना होगा कि ऑडियंस पैसा देने वाला है आपकी फिल्मों के लिए, प्रोड्यूसर नहीं देने वाला.
I think Mr. Bansal,
if it's a small film, like if I would call as 12 film is a small film. So you are going to charge 200 for that, and you are going to charge 1,000 rupees for single. It is not applicable. Now I will call that as a foolish move. अगर आप 200 रुपया ले रहे हो 12 film से और 1,000 रुपया सिंगम से, एक कोई तो एक कैप वैल्यू होगी ना आपकी कि आप फिल्मों के लिए पैसा, वो फिल्में ये देखने के लिए नहीं आ रहे कि ये छोटी फिल्म या बड़ी फिल्म. They are coming to watch a film.
Mr. Bansal, your response. Where is the transparency? Where is the method? It seems quite arbitrary. That if you're saying demand for something, I'll hike the prices.
Yeah, so why not? What's wrong in that? If there is a demand for a film, I will hike the price, and if there is no demand for a film, I'll reduce the film. It's like if government caps up a food price, like
सर
a pizza
सिचुएशन
selling in
इसीलिए
a
आई है
5-star
सर,
hotel.
ये सिचुएशन इसीलिए आई कि आज हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं. ये बहस वहां साउथ में नहीं हो रही है, ये बहस यही हो रही है.
कैसे?
1 minute.
The discussion which we are in now, right now, it is happening because of all these things. What demand और supply chain आप वो maintain करने के लिए कोई तो एक logical, economical एक वो तो होगा ना, इसको हम law कहते हैं. जैसे law of depreciation है, law of demand है, law of supply है. हम उसको तोड़ के काम नहीं कर सकते ना, ये स्थिति इसीलिए आई है.
Let him respond. Yes, Mr. Bansal.
Like I said कि फूड की प्राइसेस या पिज्जा फॉर एग्जांपल अपन ले लें, एक 5 स्टार में बिकता है, रोड साइड में बिकता है. यू कैन नॉट कैप अ फिक्स प्राइस फॉर a रोड साइड पिज्जा एंड a 5-star पिज्जा.
But sir, they have
One sec. Amit, one sec. Amit, one sec. Let him complete his point.
Like that. They are going to go on the theater.
Amit,
we don't have single screen theater. We are bound to go to multiplexes.
Okay.
और अगर पिज्जा अगर सिर्फ 5 स्टार में मिलेगा तो कोई पिज्जा नहीं खाएगा फिर एक.
अच्छा,
पिज्जा रोड पे
1 minute. Amit, let him respond. Let him finish his response and फिर आप आइए.
Amit, the same thing happens with the air ticket prices. If the ticket demand is very high for the airline tickets, it goes sky high. When the demands are very low, it comes to very discounted price. So it's with the cinema ticket as well.
No, Bansal ji, आप बार-बार एक ही बात. Now there are several modes of transportation available. People who can catch a train for Rajani if you want to go to Delhi. To watch a film, we are left with only one option.
Okay, so let me bring Girish Wankade into this. Then the debate is that are you going to end up killing your business by trying this dynamic airline ticket price system? Because if I take that further, people always have the option to watch it at home or download it on their mobile.
Yeah. So I will take this. Now see, there are various options. If the film is released on Friday, it is not eminent for you to watch the film on Friday only. Friday, most of the times on Friday, we have BOGO, buy one, get one free with Vodafone or any sponsors. So most of the time we keep 99 rupees tickets, which is for all sort of shows. So on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, these are the weekends where we want to do bigger business. So that's why the ticket prices are high. But in the morning, the tickets prices will be around 120 rupees. In afternoon, it will be around 180 rupees. In the night, it will be around 300 rupees. So we have flexible pricing throughout the day. Then on Monday, again, there will be big low down of the price. The ticket which was sold on 300 rupees, the same ticket you will get on 120 rupees on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So you have enough options.
Girish, with that we are understanding. But the fact is tickets cost more on weekends because people are free to watch it on weekends.
So obviously, and that is a business time for multiplexes also. No, we are giving you options. There are multiplexes, there are single screens, but single screen doesn't give you the quality. You compromise on quality, whereas multiplexes are just like 5-star hotels who are giving you the quality. So we can compromise, or if we compromise on the quality, on the experience, on the food quality, then obviously the question will be whether you should decrease the price or not. But if you are not compromising, then obviously there will be some independence which has to be from the multiplex owners as well as the distributor.
Okay, Amit, I want you to respond to this. They also have a business to run.
I would love to respond to this. I would like to ask my dear friend Girish Bhai, tell me the name of a single screen theatre from Dadar to Borivali. Just name the single screen theatre. Just name the single screen theatre. You will straight away go to Gaiety Galaxy, the Bandra Theatre. Yeah. Now tell me the second one, the third one. You don't have any single screen theatre left in Andheri, in Goregaon.
No, there are very less. Yeah, I know.
No, we
there
can't.
are-
No, sir. Let us accept this fact. This situation is here. Now let us instead of doing this first aid treatment or the disaster management, let us talk very clearly and with the transparency. हुआ ये है कि हमने ना मल्टीप्लेक्स का बाथरूम 5 स्टार की तरह बना दिया पहले, और उसके बाद सारा मल्टीप्लेक्स हमने 5 स्टार की तरह ट्रीट करना शुरू कर दिया है. हमारे पास सिंगल स्क्रीन का कोई ऑप्शन बचा ही नहीं है, और वो सिंगल स्क्रीन का ऑप्शन नहीं बचा है, इसलिए ऑडियंस जो है वो ओटीटी की तरफ गया है. आप देखिए, एक समय था जब रिलीज होने के टाइम शेयरिंग रेशियो को लेकर मल्टीप्लेक्सेस और प्रोड्यूसर्स के बीच में झगड़ा हो रहा था. दे वर फाइटिंग फॉर द रेशियोज. द प्रॉब्लम इज नाउ व्हाट विल हैपन इवेंचुअली. हम लोग अंत जाकर वहां होगा कि एवरीबॉडी विल एंड अप वाचिंग द फिल्म ऑन ओटीटी. डेफिनेटली हैविंग eventually there will be no buyers in the theater, whereas you compare this situation with the South Indian industry, it is flourishing. Why can't we differentiate and see the difference?
Okay, so no, Rajani, if you want to come in on the question of economies of scale, and I know we're coming from a macro view, but you've had time and perspective to listen to this conversation on a very important inflection point for this entire industry. To survive, forget about what the Karnataka government did and why it did and whether it's populist or not. To survive, does this industry now need to lower rates just so that they can get more footfalls in?
Again, Tamanna, I'll say that they should let the market forces play. Because if the pricing is very high, like we are discussing right now, and if the multiplexes are not seeing footfalls, it will get corrected itself. There will be no demand, which is happening to some extent. Demand has already lowered. If you go to cinema theaters, they are not as crowded as they used to be earlier. A lot of audiences have moved to OTT. So if there is a fundamental problem in pricing, I think the industry will sooner or later understand that and prices will go down. The point is that there is no need or no requirement for government to get involved in this. The state government should focus more on many other critical aspects which are important. Say, for instance, we are all aware state government finances are not in a good shape. They should focus more on infrastructure and all these other aspects. And this should be left for market dynamics, because whatever we are debating, if the prices are very high and if the audience is not going to go, it should correct itself automatically. It may take time and the industry may learn it hard way, but eventually it will.
No, the point taken. Our government should not, you fix your roads, you fix your potholes, you fix the pollution, you fix the water supply, you make sure, there are enough conveniences. It's not your business to do it. So, Amit, I don't think you will, be against that point. That isn't the government's job to do it.
No, we are diverting from the real problem. Even if we go with what Sinha madam has said just now, that market will correct itself and everything will be rectified automatically. No, it will give birth to a new trend, which has already happened, that generally audience now they have decided they will just go and watch a big films in theaters. They are not going to go and watch small films, or I don't know what exactly is the definition of a small film. If they have decided, and if this sort of mentality, if we are going to imbibe this sort of thinking in the audience mind, now every year, if there are only 3 films are getting made, the big films, they will run in theater. There will be no space for small films. You just take the example of the big film which has already done good in theaters, like Pushpa. It's a Hindi film, but it's made on a big scale. Now, what will happen eventually? If somebody will make a small film, it will not go to theaters.
But they are going directly to OTT releases. The whole market dynamics has gotten skewed. And that's also a fact, Girish, that the market dynamics has gotten skewed. That space for independent cinema or smaller cinema in the multiplex has disappeared. It has to be a Marvel, it has to be, on a grand scale, it has to be a multi-starrer, otherwise it's not going to make it.
Exactly.
Then there will be only sharks left in the sea. They will make the big films with the big actors. Now the big actors are also not doing well in theaters. So now what will eventually happen? They will, the Marvel, Avengers, Yash Raj, the Dharma, whoever makes a big film, a Granger film or a big budget film, they have the space in multiplexes. And those who make a small films or a content-driven films or a socially relevant film, they will end up on OTT. You download it illegally with piracy. The market will start functioning like it then.
Okay, last word from Mr. Girish and Mr. Bansal, very quickly before I wrap. Just 10 seconds.
I will say that these big ticket films are around 10 to 12 films in a year. And if Chhawa is working in 1 week, there will be 3 weeks where there will be no occupancy. So in that time, there are small films also which will be accommodated according to their prices. So there is 1 week where you do business. There are 3 weeks where the business is low, but your outgoing is same. You have the same staff. So in that the multiplexes try to compensate, and small films also has their own space and their ticketing is done accordingly. Okay. But now multiplexes is more of a spectacular experience.
Yeah.
And that's why we
last word, Mr. Bansal, if prices are lower and there are more footfalls, will that help your business more?
Yeah, definitely. We try to do that. Except for big budget films, as I told you earlier, the first weekend is higher. Otherwise, from weekdays, it goes down. And in subsequent weeks, it goes much down. So we know our business model, how to get the audience in. The important thing is how good the film is.
Yeah, okay. So, it's actually a matter of survival. Let's be honest that ticket prices is just one part of the problem. For the movie goer to actually come to a cinema hall is becoming a tougher and tougher task. And will government cap on prices help the industry? Maybe not. The bigger question in my view is, should government be fiddling in things like this? And that seems to be a clear answer that no, let them focus on what their job is. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of The Big Question. Thank you so much to all of you for joining us.